Happy Women's Month to the women in South Africa. Stay shining, stay strong, and keep on going.
Ndifuna ukuthi empower yourselves through education, work hard for yourselves. Funeka sizimele singabantu abangomama, siqiniseke into yobana sigaina confidence through working hard.
Happy Women's Month to all young South African women. I want them to treat themselves well as the future mothers of South Africa.
Keep going, Queen. Keep pushing. The end is near. Success is here.
For all the women, hold yourself bold. Always keep yourself up there because that's where you are. And yeah, happy Women's Month.
Ngithanda ukuthi bomama nibambe kanjalo bomama iSouth Africa yenu. Actually umhlaba wonke wenu. Siyanithanda.
Please guys, look after yourself. We're living in the last days. Just take care of yourselves, and I wish you all the best.
Stay strong. We love you, and just empower yourself and stay safe.
Ndithi mabakhule bayibambe ngobukhali lento. Ilizwe lethu libi. Ngaphandle komama asiyonto. Omama zimbokodo. Bathinta abafazi bathinta imbokodo. Up the women's. Viva!
Happy Women's Month, South Africa. A very, very warm welcome to your #1 youth current affairs show, Expressions. As you know this by now, this is definitely the place for you to air your views. I'm your host, Jacqueline Mapala.
Sinibingelela sinamukele mina ngumxolisi wakwaMasango. Into Women's Month with a bang khona la ku Expressions, where we're reflecting and having conversations with young women who are making strides in their respective fields as we ask you the big question: are we doing enough to bridge the gender inequality gap? What do you have to say about the conversations we're having namhlanje ohlelweni? Do interact with us enkundleni zethu zokuxhumana. Let's take you to the first insert.
Ladies, a very warm welcome to Expressions.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much for having us.
This is a new for us. We know they're twins. Tell us who you are.
I'm a student pilot in Lutzevia. It's in Vulnerable Airport.
Hi everyone, my name is Matlakonolom Pashele. I'm 20 years of age.
Also, I'm a lady in aviation, so I am a cabin crew graduate with EPT. It's in Kempton Park.
How is it possible that young women who are in an aviation space are coming up with this kind of innovation? I mean, how exactly did you guys manage to do that?
We are those twins that like research, or ratadilo, if I can say. Yeah, so we believe in research, in solving problems in our community, in our country. So yeah, that's how we ended up in the science and technology space. No matter what, like, people say to us, like, we have a lot of people who told us this is impossible, you guys can't do that, but yeah, we just told ourselves that the sky is the limit, and for us in aviation, the sky is home.
So, but tell us, how did you guys end up in Turkey? What was happening there? How did you end up traveling all the way there?
We ended up in Turkey because of a competition we entered last year called Red Bull Basement. So we won in South Africa and we had to go to Turkey to represent South Africa there. So we were against 43 countries there. What they are looking for is for students from different universities to come up with solutions that can solve problems in our country, in our community. So yeah, so that it's all about innovation.
Okay, so let's talk about your particular innovation. What did you guys come up with?
We came up with the digital X-ray glasses. Simply, they are a pair of glasses that can do an X-ray scan. So we took that whole big machine and shrink it into a pair of glasses.
Okay, so what motivated you to come up with that particular innovation?
When we were in matric, we had a little incident. We are soccer players. So one of our teammates got hurt and we had to accompany her to the hospital, like here in Jubilee Hospital. So when we got there, we had to wait long hours just for her to get an X-ray scan. So that's when my twin and I had a chat and we came up with this invention. Our first prototype, we built it at school and we used welding glasses and put some lights and batteries. So to show our whole idea, how we want it to be. to be like. And we, with the help of people from Timuluho Makerspace, they helped us to bring it to life, so to build something like this, the actual product. And the whole journey has been a bit difficult because around Pretoria there is no makerspace where we can build innovations and test our project. So we had to go to Braamfontein to do the whole research and everything. We actually met some of the rheologists around here in Hammanskraal, and they told us about the dangers of X-rays and everything. And yeah, the challenge was how are we going to shrink the big machine, because they told us about protons and whatnot, but we still made research, and yeah, we think we have found the solution. Because we're doing matric, we're trying to balance the project, so some of the learners were telling us, you guys are gonna fail because you're busy focusing on this thing, you should be focusing on your matric. But we just told ourselves that we see a potential in our project, and yeah, we want to take the advantage.
Describe how Turkey was for you guys. What was your favorite thing? What surprised you?
Turkey was amazing. We slept at an amazing hotel, five-star hotel. So it was such a great experience. And also the food there, for me, it wasn't nice. Yeah, the food for me. And the weather, we had a tough time to get used to the weather because it's so cold there. Rather than in Hammanskraal. In Hammanskraal it's hot, even now. But in Turkey, it's so cold.
And how did you perform in terms of the competition?
We were chosen out to the top 10. We didn't even believe that we would get to the top 10. Yeah, because when we got there, we saw like other students who holding like tablets and all those things. Yeah, especially from China, they have all the equipment. Their prototype is amazing, like mind-blowing things. So we doubted ourselves a little bit, but we just had hope. And then later on, they chose us to the top 3. So we only beat by USA.
I mean, you guys are definitely an example of girl power. Yeah. So what does Women's Month mean to you as young women in South Africa?
We as women have to change the narrative around where different industries where is male dominated. As an example for me, I'm in the men-dominated industry, the aviation industry. Being a pilot, a lady pilot there, it's quite difficult. We face a lot of challenges, but girl power. Yeah, and I've also saw with my mom. My mom is a bus driver. So she didn't listen to other people who told her that you can't drive a bus because you're a woman. Yeah, so we take that inspiration from her. Yes.
And do you feel that we're doing enough to bridge the inequalities that exist between men and women?
Yeah, I think we as women are doing enough to change the whole thing. I see a lot of aviation female pilots, engineers, and yeah, I see a lot of women now.
And if you could say something to the young women out there, Gokhaya, who are watching this show, what would you like to say to them?
Firstly, determination and hard work. Guys, work hard in everything that you want, put it in work, and yeah, just believe in what you do. And regardless of where you come from, like us, we come from Hammanskraal, but we ended up in Turkey. So regardless of where you come from, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Don't listen to people. Believe in yourself.
So ugly compared to this. Well, I think today's conversations are not only set to motivate you, but they are also to inspire you, Mbugeliwe Expressions, to really sit down and reflect on some of these conversations that these young women are having, but also just pick a bone from some of the things that they say as they speak about their challenges, but also bringing up solutions and also suggestions in terms of how to navigate their spaces that they're in. We're back after this. Stay with us.
welcome back. If you have just joined us, you're watching your #1 Youth Current Affairs show, and we are commemorating Women's Month. We're kickstarting it by profiling young women who are reshaping and defining the spaces that they're in particular ICT innovation as well as technology. Remember, our poll question is, are we doing enough to bridge gender inequality in South Africa? Here is our next story. Hope you are inspired. I'm in Hammanskraal right now. I'm going to be spotlighting women who are really doing pioneering work in terms of ICT as well as technology. Let's go inside and meet them. A very warm welcome to Expressions. Thank you so much for having this chat with us. But just for Vatukochai, just to understand, and specifically, what role do you play in this particular business?
Okay, I'm the head of marketing with Delivery Speed. So basically, I oversee all the marketing operations, anything that has to do with the image of the company. That's what I'm responsible for.
So, Delivery Speed, what exactly is that? What do you guys do? Which space are you occupying currently right now?
Okay, so we're a food delivery service. We deliver the joko from the malls to Komahayeng. So we operate in the townships. Unlike the big guys that are operating more kasi. That's why we say we are a township delivery service, yes. Delivery Speed, we have 3 apps, which is the merchant app, the customer app, and also the driver's app. So basically the customer orders through our app, and then the merchant, which is the people that we work with. We also have the local guys and also the big brands. So they use the merchant app, and so when the customer orders, the order pops up on the screen and they're able to accept the order, and then we are able to assign the order to the driver, and then they pick it up and they drop it off to the customers, yes.
We also notice her staff composition is pretty young. I mean, why have such a youthful staff composition with Delivery Speed?
So let me just start by saying we are all under 30, and then you know, Jackie, the unemployment rate is very high, especially with the youth. But they graduate, they don't have opportunities in order to work, right? So with Delivery Speed, we were able to combat youth unemployment. As you can see, I'm officing youth. Okay, we understand the technology, we know, okay, we understand the market, hence we are all able to work together and come up with fresh ideas in order to keep going with the innovation that we bring to the townships.
You being a female leader, what is it that you think you're bringing to the table that maybe adds a little bit more value to Delivery Speed?
As a woman, you are expected to double the effort as opposed to, let me say, men. So now as a woman, I believe that I bring fresh ideas. It also serves as motivation for young girls who would be at home and doing nothing. And then with the issue of teenage pregnancy and everything, we give opportunities to young girls to find and to have employment and do something with their lives and empower themselves.
What are some of the challenges that you have encountered? But I think most importantly, how have you managed to overcome them?
So the challenges that I've overcome is, as a woman in a position of leadership, is that I'm expected to fail, right? So hence I double the effort, and then I prosper in each and everything that I do.
And as we're celebrating and commemorating Women's Month, what does this month mean for you?
Women's Month is a remembrance of how the women in the past have fought for inequalities, which has paved a way for women in order to be accepted as leaders, right? Before, women were not in positions of leadership. So right now it's much easier for us to lead and to have businesses of our own and to have higher positions.
Celebrating Women's Day means so much because we're celebrating the freedom that other people fought for, and then now we get to have like the privileges that comes with it. So it is exciting, very much exciting. Having Tolo as a manager and as a leader is great because she's a great person and she understands because she's a woman at the end of the day. So some things you don't even explain. She knows this happens and that, all that.
It's important to have women in position of leadership so that we can show the world that not only men can take the stand, and we as women can also be in position of leadership and showcase our abilities and capabilities.
What I like about working for Delivery Speed, I'm working for a company that is led by young leaders, which is a very game changing. We don't find that in most companies. So they understand the frustrations and the things that we get in most companies.
Working for Delivery Speed feels very nice. They're very fair. They understand. I'm the youngest, so like they know what. There's certain things that we need, and then it basically helped. We don't have a lot of jobs in South Africa, so.
For Women's Month, what I would say out there for all the women is that every challenge is a lesson. Don't take things the way they are. You know, you have the ability to change each and everything that comes in your life. And if you get that opportunity, I suggest that every woman, you just, take a big step and take the leap of faith.
So what are your words of inspiration to young women out there as we are celebrating and commemorating Women's Month?
My words of inspiration to women is just to keep going. Obviously, you're going to fail, and then you must just dust yourself up and move on. And there are many opportunities for women. So if you just set your mind through what you want, then you can do it.
There are so many takeouts from the conversations that Jackie is having with some of our guests on the show today, but what is really inspiring as well is to watch how passionate these young women are, but also their unwavering commitment to excellence for their respective fields. What do you have to say about the conversations esinawo namhlanje ohlelweni? Do interact with us enkundleni zethu zokuxhumana. We're back after this.
Bati watintumfazi watintimbogoto. We are commemorating and celebrating Women's Month here on Expressions. Welcome back if you just joined us. Our poll question for the show is, are we doing enough to bridge gender inequality in South Africa? We continue to spotlight young women who are phenomenal in their own right, who are defining and reshaping the spaces that they're in. Take a look at this next story.
A very warm welcome to Expressions. Thank you so very much for sitting and having this chat with me. Let's start right at the beginning. Just introduce yourself to us, but let us know, what does your role actually entail in your organization?
I started joining the company in 2013 as an admin assistant, worked my way up to office manager, and I also had a dual role of being a PA to the CEO. That helped a lot in terms of exposing me to how to run an organization, because in helping him, I'd had to do the admin work with regards to that. So then in 2016, I did my marketing management with Varsity College, and then in 2019, I was then appointed as marketing manager. So with that appointment, I challenged myself because I realized that the deeper I dove into that role, there were actually certain things that I didn't know. So it was a lot of learning and implementing as I learn. So there was a lot of going to school for digital marketing, because at the pace that the technology is accelerating, marketing then took that leap as well, especially because of COVID, which then pushed everything forward. A lot of work, a lot of determination, mentorship and training got me to where I am right now.
And Maredi Technologies, what kind of an organization is it? What kind of a business is it? I mean, maybe just specify a little bit about the kind of sector that it occupies.
So Maredi Technologies is an ICT products and services company. We've been operational since 2010. So when the World Cup was happening, that's when our CEO decided to launch this company. We're in the ICT space, so we basically build and maintain network towers. We do the whole infrastructure when it comes to the network towers, including the technology itself. We're also in the business of putting together fiber installation, indoor network units. So the core of our business is telecommunications. But recently, with the way that technology is evolving and branching out, we're looking to go into the enterprise market and then offering sectors such as finance, mining, and also hospitality sector with solutions that are going to come and help them work better and more efficiently. Solutions like private networks, data centers, software development, just to name a few. So we're really just trying to break into the enterprise space and do more there.
What do you think in particular women or female leadership brings to the table, especially when we are talking about an ICT space like this that is predominantly male dominated?
Female leadership for me brings about adding a certain zest and certain flavor, because men have a certain way of thinking, women have a certain way of thinking. So it's like bringing the yin and the yang together to take whatever company to a certain trajectory and all of that. So we bring empathy and we bring different ways of thinking and doing things, you know, because as female leaders, I feel like we also then care and are more concerned with regards to the representation of females. So we're able to be in such positions and be able to think and consider the women out there who are not being considered, whereas if it's just an all male, there's just a certain bias that men have for themselves. So I think we bring that openness in terms of opportunity for especially young women.
Do you think we're doing enough to bridge that gender inequality that exists between men and women, especially in this ICT space?
Not enough, because there's still a gap in terms of how we're paid, you know. I could be on Exco, but I could be getting paid less than my male counterpart. So that's still an issue within South Africa. According to our stats, the numbers have gone down in terms of women employment by 4.5%. There's a lot that we can do that this time next year, when this conversation is had again, we say they've actually increased by maybe a 2 or 3%. But it takes us taking the initiative to actually make the decision to hire women and give them a chance to prove themselves.
For me personally, I do not think there are more women role models in the ICT sector. It is mostly dominated by males.
For me as a woman in this space, I'm undermined and I'm underestimated, even if I have the same skills and the capabilities as my male counterpart.
It's important that we include women in everything, because we learn new things, and literally women can do everything if they are given a chance. So it would be a great thing to have more women in the ICT space.
We can do anything we put our mind to. That's the spirit that we should be putting out. And yeah, let's just keep empowering ourselves and invite all the youth to be part of this beautiful industry.
And as we kickstart Women's Month, I mean, what does this month actually mean to you as a woman who is sitting at ESCO at a leadership position and the youngest actually in your organization to occupy this particular position?
For me, it's recognizing the value that we actually do bring to the table. And it's a day for us to be celebrated, to be honored for the work that we do. And it's also an opportunity for us as women to be like, hey, kudos, you know, you're doing good work, and open opportunities and have conversations around how we can actually bridge this gap that is there in terms of us being represented in certain spaces.
There are a lot of young women who are watching you, and they're absolutely encouraged and inspired by you. I mean, what words of wisdom can you share with them as we celebrate and commemorate Women's Month?
There's a lot of work that goes into getting people to where they are today. So my words of inspiration would be to work hard, be unapologetic, show up, and know what value you bring to a room just by walking in.
We've come to the end of today's episode, and I just want to say a big thank you to those formidable and phenomenal young women who took the time to speak to us. And obviously they're all making a huge difference and impact in the spaces of ICT innovation as well as technology. We hope, Kakhaye, as a young woman, you were inspired and you realized that nothing is impossible. And hopefully as a show as well, Mko, we were able to at least answer this very important question around being able to bridge gender inequality in South Africa. And I think that answer is a big resounding yes. We definitely can do it, right, Nko?
Indeed, and I think some of my greatest takeaways was listening to how passionate these young women are about their respective fields. And thank you so much, Naola Mbugele, for interacting with us in Enkundleni Zethu Zokuxhumana. From all of us here at Expressions, till next time, nsale kahle.
Adios, thank you for watching, bye.